Hi, welcome to Wisdom Wednesday. I'm Traci Newkirk, and I'm so excited to have my kind of like my mentor, friend, fellow strengths enthusiast today on Wisdom Wednesday, and I'm going to have her introduce herself.
Hello, Traci. It's great to see you. As always, I love catching up with you. I'm honored to be here. Thank you for reaching out. My name is Kim Keefer. I'm the director of the Shucker Center for Leadership Development at Furman University in Greenville, South Carolina. Within the Shucker Center, I have the honor and the privilege of developing and leading a large campus-wide initiative called Strengths Development Strategies.
Excellent, excellent. All right, so you and I are so similar, but tell the folks your top 5 strengths.
So I'm loaded with some yellow in the strengths world. I have activator, maximizer, communication, woo, and then my one little blue hanging out, individualization. Did I get them all? Activator, maximizer, communication, woo, and individualization. Those are my top 5.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, that's right. She is loaded with that yellow / orange. I don't know what it is, yellow or orange, because they're changing their colors, right? And I can't keep up.
Right.
But yes, Kim has a huge desire and a huge passion, and she's really good at leading others and inspiring movement. So I'm really excited to have you on today. I want to talk to you about how your strengths are helping or hindering you during this time. And I'll specifically today have you call out different strengths to answer the questions and use your wisdom today to train us on what it looks like in this great reset is what we're calling it. Okay. So let's start off with, Kim, how have your strengths helped you manage during this great recess? What strength of yours is really just kind of, you can really call on it?
I would say my activator and my maximizer in particular are firing strong. Moving off campus, working remotely, I have a small team, and we have been stepping back and taking time to revamp our website. We have been just tweaking all of our language. We've really been focusing on our marketing, our messaging, which just makes my maximizer really happy. We had been, from my perspective, we were just kind of activator, a little bit in the basement, ready, fire, aim, out there doing programs, but the foundation pieces were sloppy. We could do great work, right on the fly there, but I just love that we're organizing the website. We're putting the right pictures together. We're creating online coaching content, and we're creating learning outcomes to go with it. It's just being built more strategically. And since I personally don't have the strategic thinking talent themes in my top 5, but my teammate does. She also has intellection, input, strategic. So she's kind of loving this quiet space. So I'm leveraging her talents to make what we do collectively better.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Because you've talked about complementary partnerships. Clearly, Kim, you and I understand we don't have to be all things to all people, but certainly having people around us that are smarter than us and more talented in certain areas and letting them flourish. So that's beautiful. Thank you for that. So what strength has been hindering you? What tension have you been feeling during this great reset?
Well, okay. In the same way that maximizer is a help, it's hindered me, but I will say it's perhaps hindering me more in just my sharing space in my home. I have two teenagers, and my husband's been here as well, although he's shifted back, which is great to give us a little more space. But my teenage son literally just said to me, you have just been kind of crazy during this whole quarantine thing. And I don't think he means well, his perception is it's crazy, but I know what it is. I'm constantly asking everybody else what they need to be doing. It's probably my activator maximizer trying to move them into action, and they don't want to be moved into action.
Yeah.
So it's been hindering me with my family. I would say that the absence of the individualization and the woo, missing from my daily human contact life, has been a hindrance that I've had to do some additional things to fill those gaps.
I totally get that. I'm tired of this.
Yeah.
There's no hugs.
I know.
There's no side hugs, front hugs, nothing. There's this elbow bump that I've like feels so fake and insincere.
And seeing the faces, like I miss seeing people's faces light up.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating. I was just on a Zoom call with a group of students yesterday, and they were all graduating seniors. But literally what struck me is their faces were just sort of flat. And I wanted my woo and my individualization wanted to just dig in and get them to light up. But we were doing business, so I just let them be with their flat faces. And then I wondered, do they know the affect they have here?
Yeah, the forlornness probably. And I'm sure it's been really hard for them too during this season. That's my empathy talk. Right.
Absolutely.
So excellent. Right. So, I mean, I'm reading so much about dreams for the future and how right now more than ever it's important to keep those dreams alive. So, what strength is helping you dream for the future?
Let's see. I'm naturally forward thinking. In fact, my futuristic is in my top 10. So, that comes naturally when that gets a hold of connecting with my number one activator. I tend to move into that space of what can we do in the future, which means that I haven't done as much of the crisis management emergency response team work that my campus has had to do during all of this. So my way of, I have been thinking forward. I very quickly, I was signed up for a training program through Gallup for the summit, which would have been in June. And so when this first happened in March, I didn't want to lose the opportunity for that training program. So my activator quickly picked up the phone, called Gallup. Is there a virtual course? Before they even started announcing that they were having virtual courses, is there a virtual course? Can I switch my reservation to the virtual? I don't want to miss this because there's a project I'm working on with staff development that I wanted to still be able to do. And I needed the content from leading high performance teams to do that well. I could have done it without that, but I really wanted to do it well. So that was one forward thinking piece. And I would say another forward thinking, again, telling you that my woo and individualization were missing some things. I thought, okay, I'm home. This is a great opportunity to organize my space. And so I immediately started, like a lot of other people, closets, cabinets. Well, I realized I didn't have the best quality tools for that work. A friend invited me to a Tupperware party. I said yes. I bought 2 or 3 pieces of Tupperware. Totally wanted more than my budget would allow. So of course I'm that person who says, sure, I'll host a party, because when you host a party, you get free Tupperware. So I hosted this party. It was ginormous. I have all this free Tupperware, and then something awakened in from my youth, to be honest. I have always, starting from 3rd grade, when I was the kid who had to win the giant teddy bear for selling magazine subscriptions.
Oh, yeah.
And so all of a sudden, I'm rested, I'm content, I'm not feeling stressed. I'm not running my high schoolers anywhere. So all of a sudden that awakened. I started thinking back to times I've sold various products, because I always have a side gig. I mean, activators, we have to have a side gig, because
exactly,
that also inspires hope. So I started on a little journey. with Tupperware and started creating a side gig just to help me connect with new people more frequently again, missing them. So what does that mean about the future? Well, in direct sales, there's always something to strive for. In Tupperware, it's win these 3 free bowls if you submit this much in orders. Honestly, that's enough for me right now. So I have some future thinking going on, a lot of different places, and that's what keeps me present. Honestly, it keeps me excited. It keeps me energy filled. If I'm not thinking forward, I lose energy.
Yeah, I love that, how you said inspired and energy filled, because that's what we're having to do right now is we've got to figure out what we can do to give us energy. And there's plenty, but we've got to sometimes dig in and leverage what we have and our talent. So beautiful way to do that. I'm so excited for your Tupperware adventure. I'm going to order some from you too. All right. So you've talked about forward thinking, but then also right now we're all experiencing this great present of being presence, being present with our family, right? Yes. So what strength is helping you to be more present and just be fully embracing this beautiful family time that we have?
Wow, let's see. Can I delve into my top 10 just a smidgen?
Sure. Absolutely.
Okay, I have adaptability in my top 10. Being home has allowed me without, I'm not as constrained by time and the clock, so I can live in my adaptability space. So whether that means I pop up from my desk and do a load of laundry or put something in the oven, or I don't always have to have everything planned, and my productivity level has actually gone up because I am not I'm not needed to respond to other people's timelines as often. I would say also adaptability has made me more present. I'm going to use just an example that has been a really, really beautiful experience for me. It was a gift, and I'm still trying to wrap my mind around the fact that it happened. This happened on a weekend. Like everybody else, we've been doing a lot of yard work. Cannot get enough of it, except now I have huge allergy problems, so I've tabled that one for a while. But we have a really large hill in our backyard, and we weeded, we spread pine straw, and it felt good. But spreading the pine straw in particular on a Sunday, it was not hot outside. It was beautiful. And I plopped down on the hill and sat for a minute. And I literally, 2 huge emotions flooded back, memories for me of times that were incredible. One was I used to, in my youth, be a hiker, and I've been on many difficult, challenging hikes in the Colorado mountains, the New Hampshire mountains. Plopping down in the middle of a trail when you're sweaty, you're exhausted, your back hurts, and you sit in the moment, you eat some trail mix, and you look at the sky, you look at the trees, you listen, you smell, you hear, you might talk to someone. My neighbor was outside. We chatted for a minute, and there I was sitting, and I was flashing back to so many hiking trails. I haven't thought of those memories in a long time. The second memory that flooded in that same space was I also used to snow ski, and some of the snow skiing I did was on tree trails where you just through the trees, and you would also plop down because you were tired, and you would sit there. And I remember vividly thinking, so many people can't see this beauty because not a lot of people ski, really and truly, when you think about the number of people on the planet. And number one, they don't necessarily ski on tree trails, and because they're a little scarier. And so I would always just capture the moment and stay in the moment because I didn't want it to end. I felt like that on my pine straw hill. And I just was so thankful for that flood of memories to come back. So that adaptability has given me presence in this pandemic.
Yeah, I love that. And I love just also the teaching example of plopping down. Maybe that's something that we can all take from your wisdom today, which is just stop, smell, feel, hear, touch, right? And enjoy. Just say to ourselves, this is happy, or this is good, right? Or this is lovely, something, and just capture the moment. So that was great wisdom for us today. Thank you, Kim. I so appreciate that. All right, let me ask you this. So what strength, and I check our time today, what strength is helping you to lead well? What strength right now? I mean, you're at home, you have this team of people all remote. So what strength is helping you to lead well today?
So I would say communication, marrying it with maximizer and activator. Those first couple of weeks, I felt like everything was floating up in the air, and I was trying to figure out how to ground anything. And so at first, I think my communication and my maximizer and my activator sounded very almost commanding. They weren't necessarily inspiring. Okay, we need to do this, we need to do this, we need to do this. And messaging I was getting from higher up was sense of urgency and stress, just because they were in the beginning of the crisis management mode. And so that was coming down through them. But I also, I think the people that are on my team were waiting. That's what they needed from me. They needed to trust that we could figure out how to function and in this type of space. And so I think digging in a little bit, using words and ideas and thoughts to literally involve people in process and procedure and work and getting things done and accomplished, and then letting them. So one of my employees had some ideas, and she has strategic, and so she had an idea about something, and I loved it. I thought it was great, and she just kept presenting it, and I presented it up. And thankfully they didn't squash it, and she was able to deliver on it, and she then engaged all the rest of us. But it turned out to be an amazing campus wide, or the reach was really broad, and it was powerful, and it was really positive. So management, grounding, being more comfortable to say, we need to do this, this, and this. Sometimes in the personal space, I want to stay in the collaboration phase a little too long. Ideation number 6. So the drive home sometimes is harder, deliver it. But in this space, I feel more comfortable being really clear about what we need to do and don't need to do, and when we need to do it, and communicating the deadlines. Also not necessarily seeing people's faces and reactions all the time. I don't sway from the course that we need to take. And I don't feel my empathy is number 8. And so I don't feel sensitive to what their facial expression is how they're emoting in that way, because sometimes that would derail me, because individualization, super heightened crystal ball, real strong read on people. So individualization, empathy, and me trying to lead and always seeing them, I sometimes would back off to, again, thinking about wanting to please them. But here, I'm leading a little bit more confidently, and it's because I don't have to filter their facial expression and think that it's something that it's not.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So it sounds to me, what you just beautifully illustrated is leading up and leading down, which I think people forget about that. There's leading, we can lead our peers, we can lead our, our people who report to us, but there's leading up too that happens with us. So, wow, excellent. Kim, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us today. I think we can all be better people, better managers, better at leveraging our talents just by your knowledge and your wisdom that you've shared. So thank you so much for being on today, and we will talk soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.